Alright guys, thanks for joining me on another episode of Off Axis Builds. This is the third and final video of the rack and pinion install. I believe I have all the details worked out and all the dimensions. Now it's just basically welding in the bracket and bolting it all up. And what else would be left on that? Getting the front end all tied in, putting the brace across the front. I'll show you all that. So anyways, stay tuned and we'll get going on this project here. And remember guys to always like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get going. Alright guys. Alright guys, so I think I got everything all dialed in. At this point I just gotta weld in that bracket to the beam. Okay. I gotta remove the steering and then obviously put the two control arms back in and do the final adjustments for the steering. So it's almost there, and also obviously I gotta put in the last bar between the steering wheel and the rack. So I may, I don't know, I'm thinking about it, I may actually go with high angle steering U-joints. I don't know, we'll see. I think this is okay, it's not going to bind, but if I went with high angle, I don't think I'd even have an issue. I had to grind a little bit of these corners off. You can see right there, I'm not too happy with how it turned out. I mean, it works, but I think I weakened those. So I think I might actually just replace those with high angles. And we'll go from there. Which that may or may not shorten this or lengthen that bar there, which not a big deal. All right, so let's go ahead and get some tools out and remove the old steering components and then lay out where this thing's going to get welded in. All right, guys, so I'm just gonna keep going on removing some more of those components, grind this guy down, get it ready for welding. I'll probably remove this, get some of the paint off of there so I can weld this guy on, and we'll be ready to weld that bracket on and keep going. Alright guys, so now it's time for me to drop some tools. Now it's time for me to get the bump stop set, okay? It's very simple to do with this system. There's actually a set screw underneath, okay? In this case, I have measured everything off of these 2 points, okay? So that being said, if I turn this in and it comes over to where it's centered on this hole, I want it centered on this hole. That's going to give me the same bumps, I guess bump stop, bump steer, not bump steer, but the same stop position on both directions. So let's go ahead and get these things set. First, obviously you want to loosen up the nut and then turn those in. If you can't turn them in by hand, you'll need to get an Allen wrench on these. Alright guys, so now that I have that bump steer set up, it's from this side to the edge of this circle, 1 1/8 on both sides, so I'm good with that. Now it's time to get some steering on it, okay. Okay, so my goal here is to drill this out. I'm going to drill it out and tap it so that I can put this bolt in there. Obviously this will be on top, the bolt will go through it, thread in there, and then I'll put a lock nut on the bottom. You could drill all the way through or thread it like I'm doing. The reason why I chose to thread it is just so I have a little more connection here. I may decide at a later point to actually drill it out all the way. I don't know. Might actually be easier if I do that. So I might start with this one and then go to a 5/8 drill bit and just open it all the way up. We'll see how I feel when I get to the next step. Alright guys, so I decided to just drill straight through. I figured that'd be easier in the long run and a lot cleaner. So let's go ahead and drill this guy down to 5/8 of an inch. All right, guys, so let's see how that works. Obviously, okay, well, I just lost a light. All right, guys, so let's see how that works. I got them in, I just don't have them tight, but I just want to test out the steering. So let's go ahead and crank the steering wheel over.
I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down, and then put the wheel straight, and try to get somewhat of an alignment. Put them as straight as possible, and then I'll put them out to straighten out. It might be towed in, or towed out, one of the two. You just have to tweak it by taking out this bar, or pulling in this bar. But in the meantime, I want to tighten these things down so I can do that adjustment.
Alright guys, let's do one final test. Now that I have everything tightened up, let's just double check everything moves smoothly. All right. Okay, so for right now, I'm pretty happy with how the wheels are pointing. I'll take care of that after I start mounting the wheels and dialing everything in. But what's left now is I got to weld this bracket onto the frame. finish welding this front skirt piece back on, and then weld up this shaft. Now I think I'm gonna actually go with higher angle, what are they called? High angle U-joints, I believe they're called, or I can't remember exactly what they're called, but anyways, it allows the angle to go a little bit more than, I think this is like 35 degrees, maybe less. But anyways, all right guys, so I think I'm gonna call it quits on this install. There's some minor stuff I gotta tweak with, like I said, weld up the bracket, and then adjust the 2 tie rods to the wheels, and then obviously change out the U-joints to higher angle U-joints. But for now, I'm pretty happy with how it's sitting. I think I'm gonna call this video and then continue on the next project. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me on another episode of Off Axis Builds. Got that rack and pinion installed. Pretty happy with how I got it in there. There's some minor details I got to work out, but other than that, it's in there. Those of you guys that want to install this on a full body bug, there's going to be quite a bit of body work that you're going to have to do unless you put a beam stretch on it. The only way I was able to get this thing to fit was to basically move it forward 6 inches from where stock location would be, or where they recommend to put it on a bug. Now, you could put it back there, but you will wind up having to get a different steering column. I wanted my steering column to be straight right through the stock hole in the firewall. Well, it's not really firewall because there's no engine up there, but straight through the front, and then from there I was going to go over to the rack and pinion. So, any case, thanks for joining me on another episode, guys. Remember, guys, it's built, not bought. See you on the next one.